Hi there, and welcome to the Creatives Get Real podcast. I'm Roben-Marie Smith.
And I'm Sandi Keene, and these are real conversations about the creative life. Hey, Roben-Marie.
How you doing, Sandi?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I can't complain. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. All right, you ready for this topic? It's one that I talk about. I'm going to say I preach about this one all the time. What do you say?
I say that you are correct in your preaching, and it's something that I know our listeners, those that want to be front and center in their business or in their hobby, they to get in front of their audience. So what is it?
We've given a lot of clues there.
We did.
Our topic today is getting your face on camera.
And and I'm a believer now. I mean, it was hard for me back in the day to be challenged with that. And I think it's that just getting that comfort level of like, I can do this. It's okay. And it's a progression. It's not, I think for some, maybe you can just jump right on camera and go.
Right.
But I think for others, you have to kind of get to that point. And it's not easy. We're not saying it's easy, but it's necessary.
It's absolutely necessary. I'm a big proponent of everything in social media is all about relationship, and you can't have a relationship with people if you're not going to show up, and that means putting your face on camera. And yes, the first time, I remember the first time I was on camera, I was a wreck.
Yeah.
And it's nerve-wracking, and you're so self-conscious.
Yes.
And then on top of being on camera, you have to speak in complete sentences and usually do art at the same time. That's a lot.
That is a lot. You're right about that. And I do remember when I first started teaching online, and it's been quite a few years. And I remember you said to me eventually, okay, it's time for your audience and your students to see your face, not just your hands. Like they need to see who you are. And I knew that I needed to do it, but it was like, oh, and like I said, little by little, even if it's just a little intro, welcoming them. And then I would sometimes pop in another little video of, okay, hope you're doing well, and you're progressing well in the class or whatever. And then that was kind of my first experience with being on camera. Because back then Instagram was even kind of new, and we didn't have stories and we didn't have any of that. So it's been a progression. And I think the funny thing is, and I don't remember when this was, it might've been last year, who knows, we were talking about something and I said, well, I'll just jump on the video and I'll just do it. Video is so much easier now than anything, before. And you were kind of like, who are you? What? You're just going to jump on and do a video? I mean, now I'll get on, no makeup, hair's not done. I've had a face mask on before. I mean, I don't worry about it. And actually, I kind of like it that way because I feel like it's me real. I think that your audience gets to know you, real you. Not if I was always full blown hair and makeup, it'd be like, does she ever look normal like me? Does she work at home looking like that? Yeah. No.
Well, I'm looking at us, and neither one of us have on makeup. And, it's not unusual for us to FaceTime each other, no makeup, in pajamas.
Oh, and I am in my pajamas, actually, by the way. And it's 1:00 in the afternoon. I did take a shower, but I'm in my comfies. I'm comfortable. So
exactly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So the point of all that is that's that's how the people that are watching. How they're, can relate to us because they too are comfortable, may have on makeup, may not. They're in their jammies. They have baby spit up on their shoulders, whatever. It's real.
And I think too, and let's talk about this as well, because I think there's this balance between professionalism and being real, and how you meet that, how you're able to come across as a professional in what you do, but yet still be real. And I guess it's like showing up for the job interview in flip-flops and a pair of baggy shorts. Do you show up like that, or do you show up dressed appropriately? So I think it's figuring out what that line is between being professional still and yet still being, real. And I guess there's a time and a place for both.
I agree.
What advice would you give to your coaching clients or even to our audience with regard to that? Because I think that, you don't always show up with, I just got done working out and now I'm going to, do a coaching session.
Right.
How does that, how would we give advice to our audience about that?
I think this is just my opinion. I think in the beginning, when you're trying to establish yourself, there's certain things, I call it when I talk to my coaching clients about becoming an expert. When you are teaching a class, let's just take oil painting, and you want to teach oil painting, you need to project the image of an expert at oil painting. I'm not sure that, video in your pajamas is the way to do that. So I think it's maybe 75-25. 75 is you're very professional. You've got on some decent clothes, your hair's brushed, light makeup, or, whatever's normal for you. And if you don't wear makeup, that's fine. Don't wear makeup.
Right.
And then 25% of the time, it's like, hey, I'm just jumping on and I'm in the middle of da-da-da. And that's real life. And that should be about 25%. Yeah. What do you think?
I think you're spot on with that. I think that I approach, especially my workshops and online courses, a little more polished, where I'm, when I'm in front of the camera, I'm usually, I'm clean. I've got the right shirt on. Well, that's a whole other podcast about being on camera and the technical parts of it. But I want to be, like you said, that I'm the expert, I'm the professional here. But if I'm going to pop into Instagram stories and I'm just leaving the gym and I want to, whatever, do a quick, hey, checking in, that's okay, because that's real life. Absolutely. And that's me. I'm not always in professional mode, but I think that the part that is crucial is that you're still in front of the camera and visible to your audience. I mean, there's some people I don't even really know maybe what they look like, because I've never, their profile picture's not them, and I haven't really seen them. So it's kind of like, it's mysterious, but then I can't really relate because I've never really seen that person. And I think what's important too about this is that it also helps you find the right people. Because if you really put yourself out there and you're in front of the camera and you're engaging with your audience, the right people, you're going to attract the right people. And then the people that are not kind of your people, you're not going to attract them. I can think of some people that are very visible in the social arena and I don't gel with them. I might not know that if it weren't for the fact that they're, on camera and they're visible a lot, but that's okay, because if they're not really somebody I'm going to connect with, there's somebody else out there that I will. So I think it's important, and that helps you in that arena.
Yeah. You're talking about finding your audience. And we've discussed this before, the difference between finding a audience and finding your audience. And it's a big difference.
That's right.
And your audience are the people that relate to you, that like the same things that you do. Not everything. It doesn't have to. But they're the people that when you put out new product are going to be interested.
That's right. Yeah.
So they they relate to you. They want to be friends with you. And you the same. There's people you're looking for. It's like, hey, I wish I could have coffee with her.
Exactly.
Yeah. I would love to just spend some time.
Yeah. And there's there's a comfort, a trust level, because you are building up trust with that person. It's like going to a doctor for the first time and you meet the doctor in a consultation or whatever, and you're like, I don't like this person. They're abrasive or they're rough or whatever. Or you go, I really like this doctor. What are you going to do? If you like the doctor, you're going to stay. If you don't, well, I would like to think you try to find somebody that you could relate to and talk to, and that could be somebody that you'd feel comfortable with. And so being on camera and doing it repeatedly and getting that practice in really just makes you better at it. I mean, I can remember the first times and it was horrifying. I was so nervous. I'd have to cut and restart, and just so self-conscious about every little thing that I thought, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not able to get in front of the camera and do this. And now I don't even think twice about it now. It's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. You wish you could start out with that level of confidence way back, and in the beginning, but you just build it up. And it's not,
Exactly.
and we're not saying daily, you have to be in front of the camera, but if you're out there and you are your brand, fellow artists and creatives, your audience needs to see you.
Mm-hmm.
To see you. Start out with a boomerang where you don't have to talk. Just do something fun where you're in the you're being seen, but you're not talking. Do something like that if you're uncomfortable.
Yes, that's a great idea, doing a boomerang. I personally have never done one of those. My suggestion is just practice. Make short little videos. Videos that go on Instagram, if you're putting them right in your post, are less than 60 seconds. So, just practice a short little video of you talking, holding up your newest brush, holding up, I just bought this palette. Here's what I love about it. That kind of thing. And, I think you should do it every day. Should you post every day? No, but practice every day, because you'll get much more comfortable, and you'll realize that 99.9% of the people are looking at the palette and the brush and not, does she have on eyeshadow? I hope she does. They don't care. They want your
You're right.
information, and they want your smile. They want your reality. And that's just it.
Yeah.
And it's just getting comfortable there. So practice, 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 practice. And you know what? You have a delete key.
That's right.
And when they're crap, and they all are at the very beginning, so just expect the first 25 to just be garbage. Just give yourself 25. Then you're not so worried about it. Hey, I was supposed to be perfect by now. No, you're not.
No, and you're not going to be perfect. I mean,
You're
one thing I've learned that I do now, which is so much easier, is I would film, and then if I messed up, I'd get so frustrated, and then I'd delete it and I'd start over. And I'm like, why am I doing this? So now, but I move around so much, and my hands are going, and I'm animated, and so I feel like, okay, I'm just gonna have to start over. But what I've been doing now is trying to be much calmer, where I can then, if I mess up, I just stop. And then I just keep right on going, where my head isn't moved over to the left too far or the right. I just kind of stop, so that when I'm editing, it doesn't look like I did anything. It just keeps on going, and has made my life so much easier than having to restart every time. And I'm saying this is mostly for my courses and things, but it's like, oh, wow, that was a revelation. So you learn as you go.
You do. In fact, something like that just happened when Ray and I were filming a class together just recently. We've talked about this before. We're in Florida, and you mow your lawn once a week, even in the winter. And here we are in the middle. I mean, it's going great. And the guy next door is our houses are close together, right outside the window. So we would freeze, wait for him to go by, and then just pick it right back up, and then hear him coming, and we'd freeze so that your hands are in the same position.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And you just wait till he goes by, and then you just finish the sentence.
So
that makes editing really easy. But
it does.
Those things come to you with practice.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. And like you said, you just freeze. In fact, I was filming the other day, and the train was going by, and I'm thinking, I just started. And I'm sitting there thinking, you've got to be kidding me. It's always, I just sat down. So I just had to keep my hands in the same position, and I just waited and waited. And it was a really long train. But yes, those are all things that you learn, and you'll get more comfortable with as you go. And there's other little tips that, we'll do another podcast where we talk about what to wear and lighting and things like that. But for sure, you got to start. And I was talking to one of my Makers Tech U students, because she's amazing artist and she is out there a lot, but you don't see her. And I've been really trying to encourage her that, you're funny, you've got a great personality. Let people see that. But when she's ready, she will. She's just not ready yet. And I hope that she will, because I think that she'll be able to connect even more with her audience. I mean, I've met her and she's amazing. So I just know if she could just get past that nervous step. And I think too, here's the thing that holds I think a lot of us back from that is the idea of it's got to be perfect, especially when you're presenting yourself on camera. It's like, if I can't be perfect, I don't think I can do it. Or, what if it's not perfect? It's not going to be.
No.
And that's okay. That's who, everyone's been there. I mean, we look at our first videos, it's like, oh boy. Oh no.
I needed a coach.
For sure. Oh
yeah.
my. Yeah.
I mean, we're not Kardashians. We don't have, live-in makeup and hair people
Nope.
and wardrobes the size of your and my house put together.
True.
And no one wants that. I mean, not to diss the Kardashians for that. I could go off on other things, but for that, whatever. But that's not real.
Nope.
And you don't want to put that out there, the standard that no one can reach.
Yeah.
So just be you, be real, just keep practicing. You get more comfortable. It's kind of amazing, I think, how fast most people become comfortable. It doesn't really take that long.
Well, and today with Instagram stories, I think that has opened up the door to a less polished presentation. Whereas, when I'm sitting in to do an introduction to a course, or I'm doing the lesson introduction, I am definitely going to be more 75-25, like we talked about. But on stories, it's meant to be more real. And so it's okay, and spontaneous. So it's okay. And I think that has really helped open that door to not having to be, oh, okay, I need to pop on really quick and say such, well, you don't have your hair done, your makeup's not done. I was like, and the people that do that constantly, I'm like, are they always just every time they're every day, they're just all done up and ready to go. And it's sort of like intimidating because it's like, I can't live up to that. I don't want to. I don't want to do that every day. But I think you're right. I think that it definitely comes faster, I think, than people might realize.
Than you think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that a good rule of thumb is if someone is paying for the video, so it's a class, then you should be at your most polished. They've paid for it. They deserve you to show up seriously.
I agree.
And put some time into it. It's respectful.
Absolutely.
Of their trust in you and the fact that they're willing to pay for your class. So you show that respect back by showing up, in something that looks nice and
exactly. Just like you take the time to edit the video and make it the best it can be. That different than just popping on Instagram stories and just kind of being there for your audience. Very good point. Absolutely agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I agree. So good rule of thumb.
Yes.
So we've got two that we've talked about, 75-25. And so 75%, you're on camera looking kind of nice. And 25%, it's just real. Some of my favorite stories people do they're like, in a bathrobe, hair in a towel, but they're real. Like, hey, I just want to talk about this, or I've been really sick, or I'm recovering from something and I want to pop on and let you know how I'm doing. That's real, and people really would need to see it and want to see. So that's important. And then if people are paying for what you're doing, professional.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Good talk.
It's like not going to court in your pajamas. No.
I can't remember what we were doing. I know what it was. Our friends from England that came at Christmas, Paul and Claire. We were taking them to the airport to fly back home. And, we were all comfortable. It was later in the day. It was in the evening because their flight was leaving at night. And I had on my long pajama pants and, I looked okay. And I was just going to stay in those clothes. My husband's like, oh no, you're going to put pants on. You're not staying in your pajama pants. And I'm like, why? Who's going to see me? You might get out of the car and say goodbye to them. And I'm thinking, well, what does that matter? Anyway, it was just really funny. No, I would not go to, I know. I'm like, no, I would not go to Walmart dressed like that. But yeah. So anyway, time and place, appropriateness.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. So
Oh,
I think the bottom line here is get your face on camera. Stop being nervous. Um, just do it. And I'm a big proponent of fake it till you make it.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, you just pretend,
Mm-hmm.
channel somebody else.
Yeah, and I kind of equate it to when I kind of describe it, it's almost like for me, I just get into the switch turns on and I'm in the mode and I don't let my mind go to any of the negative thoughts. I got this and I'm a
Mhm.
pro at this, and I just that confident talk and I'm just like turn that switch and this is who I am. And then afterward, when I get ready to go and turn off the video, what people don't see is like, that really stunk or whatever. I'll say that to myself, that was really stupid, or that was just not good. I don't know why I do. And then I rewatch it and I go, well, that wasn't so bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done
Yeah.
that too.
The
It's like,
outtakes, it's like,
that
really?
stunk, delete. Let's try that again. I can do better.
Exactly. Oh boy. All righty. Well, we hope you guys have found this helpful. And if you have any tips that you would like to share with us, we'd love to hear it. What you have for getting on camera and being comfortable.
Or if you have fears, share them with us.
Yeah.
What is it that's holding you back
Mm-hmm.
from getting your face on camera?
Exactly. All right then. All right.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Creatives Get Real. We love hearing from you. So hop on over to Instagram and leave us a comment. And we also appreciate reviews on iTunes.
And you can find me, Sandi Keene, at sandykeene.com and my classes at popupartclasses.com.
And you can find me, Roben-Marie Smith, at robenmarie.com. And if you're looking for and need tech support, check out my membership site, makerstechu.com.